hopscotch until it grew dark. Chastity had to go to church with her grandma in the morning, so she returned to her house. "So, did you have fun today?" Miss Sarah asked, sitting on the couch watching television. "Yes, I had a lot of fun. And thank you for the clothes, Grandma." "You're welcome. Sorry it's nothing all fancy and expensive, but I still have bills to pay." The clothes Miss Sarah brought Chastity had come from Kmart. She was on welfare, so they only gave her $320 in cash and $350 in food stamps. She made it work, though, and that's all that mattered. "Are you feeling okay, Grandma? You look like you're getting sick." "I'm fine, child. Just a little tired, so I'm going to bed now," she said, getting up and headed upstairs. "Okay, I'll see you in the morning," Chastity said, getting ready to go take her shower and go to bed. The next morning, Chastity woke up from the sunlight beaming into her room. She looked at the clock and saw that it was already 10 a.m. Usually her grandma would wake her up at 9 a.m. so they could catch the Sunday morning services. She jumped out of bed in her pink and white nightgown and went to her grandma's room to wake her up. Chastity knocked on her door, but didn't get an answer. "Grandma, are you up?" she asked, opening the door. When she went inside, her grandma was laying there as if she was sleeping peacefully. Chastity walked over to her bed and tried to wake her up. "Grandma, it's time to get up. We're late for church." Chastity tried shaking her, but she wouldn't move. She noticed that her grandma wasn't breathing and immediately became scared. Grandma, wake up. Please. Don't leave me, Grandma," she said, shaking her and crying. She grabbed the house phone and called 911. After she hung up the phone, she called her uncle and told him what happened. He told her that he was on his way there. The police and fire rescue arrived 10 minutes later and attempted CPR on her to no avail. They loaded her on the stretcher and rushed her to the hospital, all while still attempting to bring her back. Chastity rode in the ambulance with her grandma, crying the whole way to the hospital. Miss Sarah was pronounced DOA at 11:03 a.m. Tony arrived at the hospital 5 minutes afterwards, and he and Chastity stood by her bedside crying. It had been 3 months since the death of Chastity's grandma. They completed an autopsy on her and determined that she died in her sleep from a heart attack. Chastity took the loss hard because she had no one left but her Uncle Tony. Tony moved her in with him at Wilson in South Philly. He didn't want to stay at his mother's house because of the memories that were left behind. Plus, it was cheaper for them to live in the projects. It was a 2-bedroom house that cost him just $190 a month. Chastity stayed in one room, and he had the other. She was closer to school now, so she didn't have to travel on the bus or wake up too early in the morning. Her uncle spent most of his days drinking or playing cards with his friends. Chastity didn't really know anybody in the projects, so she spent most of her time in her room. When she did go outside, she would just sit on the steps and watch the other kids play. One day, a girl named Rudy walked over to her and asked if she wanted to play with them. 2 other girls came over, and she introduced them to Chastity as her sisters, Sharon and Neatra. For the next hour, they all played with Barbie dolls on the steps. The girls' mom came from the house next door to Chastity's house and told them it was time to return home. "Bye, Chastity. We will come play with you tomorrow," Rudy said as they ran over to their mother. Chastity went in the house and watched her uncle and 3 others playing cards and drinking in the kitchen. "Uncle Tony, can I have something to eat, please?" "I'll make you some hot dogs and noodles after this hand is over. You can watch TV in the living room," he said. Chastity went over to the couch and sat down to watch a couple of shows on cable. A half hour later,